Supermarine Spitfire, a symbol of British resilience, innovation and courage. For many, it's the aircraft that embodies the fierce spirit of the Royal Air Force during World War II, but behind its sleek design and legendary status lies a history of ingenuity, determination and fierce combat. The story of the Spitfire begins in the 1930s. At the time when war was looming over Europe, the British Royal Air Force needed a fighter aircraft that could counter the growing threat of the Germans. Enter R.J. Mitchell, a visionary British aeronautical engineer. Mitchell was one of the chief designers at Supermarine Aviation, and in 1934 he was tasked with designing a new fighter aircraft that would become the backbone of the RAF. The result? The Supermarine Type 300, which would soon be known as the Spitfire. With its innovative elliptical wing design, the Spitfire was fast, agile and capable of high-speed manoeuvring. This would make it a formidable adversary. In 1936, the Spitfire took to the skies for the first time. The aircraft's performance was so remarkable that the RAF quickly placed an order for production. But even as the Spitfire began its legendary journey, the man behind its design was facing his own personal battle. R.J. Mitchell was not only a brilliant engineer, but also a man of great dedication and resolve. Unfortunately, in the midst of his work on the Spitfire, Mitchell was diagnosed with terminal cancer. His health rapidly declined, and tragically, he passed away on June 11, 1937, just months before the Spitfire was officially commissioned into service. Mitchell's untimely death was a great loss for the aviation world, and to his colleagues at Supermarine, yet despite his passing, his vision and legacy lived on. The Spitfire went on to become one of the most iconic aircraft in history, and Mitchell's groundbreaking design would play a crucial role in the Battle of Britain, saving countless lives and changing the course of the war. By 1940, as Nazi Germany unleashed the Blitz on Britain, the Spitfire became the RAF's most trusted fighter, soaring through the skies and defending the homeland against the Luftwaffe. The aircraft's agility and speed proved invaluable in the Battle of Britain, where it would face its greatest test yet, not just in the hands of the brave pilots, but as the accumulation of Mitchell's genius. The Spitfire's greatest rivals were the German Messerschmitt Bf 109 and the Focke-Wulf FW 190, both formidable aircraft in their own right. The Bf 109's speed and firepower made it a dangerous opponent, but the Spitfire's superior manoeuvrability allowed it to out-dogfight the German aircraft in close-quarter combat. Later, the arrival of the FW 190 posed new challenges, but the Spitfire's adaptability saw it evolve to meet the threat head-on. The FW 190 posed a serious challenge to the Spitfire, as it was faster, more heavily armed, and had the greater durability. Its arrival shifted the balance of power in the skies, and the RAF needed to adapt quickly. The Spitfire Mark 9, a modified version of the aircraft, became essential in countering the FW 190's increased firepower and speed, allowing British pilots to engage this new threat with renewed confidence. Throughout the war, the Spitfire would continue to evolve to meet the challenges posed by the FW 190 and other enemy aircraft. In fact, the Spitfire was one of the most versatile aircraft of the war, with numerous variants and marks developed to meet the challenges demanded of combat. It is one of the only aircraft of World War II to be developed right from the start through to the end. From its initial design, the Spitfire underwent numerous improvements and modifications. The Mark I was the original model, followed by the Mark II, the Mark V, each with enhanced performance, firepower and versatility. The Mark IX, introduced in 1942, became the most widely used variant during the late stages of the war, featuring a more powerful engine and improved aerodynamics. There were also specialised versions of the Spitfire, such as the Spitfire Mark XIV, which boasted an even more powerful engine, allowing it to compete with the faster German aircraft. The Spitfire Mark 18 and Mark 21 were designed for high altitude interception, while the Spitfire PR Mark 11 served as a reconnaissance aircraft. The versatility of the Spitfire meant it could be adapted for a variety of roles, from fighter to ground attack to reconnaissance and even naval operations. These were called Seafires. By the end of the war, more than 20,000 Spitfires had been built in more than 24 different variants. The aircraft's legacy would cement as one of the most effective, adaptive and iconic fighters of World War II. The Spitfire's production continued after the war, and it was used in various conflicts across the globe. Although it was officially retired from frontline service in the early 50s, the Spitfire continued to serve in roles like reconnaissance and training, with some models staying in service with foreign air forces for many years. Its influence stretched far beyond its original role, and it became an enduring symbol of the fight against tyranny. Today, the Spitfire is remembered as a symbol of British ingenuity and bravery. Preserved in museums and celebrated at air shows, the aircraft's legacy continues to inspire new generations. The Supermarine Spitfire, a true testament to the power of engineering, the courage of its pilots and the determination of a nation. And all of this began with one man's vision, R.J. Mitchell, whose genius still soars in the skies today.